Welcome everyone to Xperiencify 101. We are doing the basic course setup basics today. My aim is to get us set up in an hour, and then there's going to be a little bit of time for some live questions if you have them. Now, the pace I'm going to go at is deliberately medium. So we all have our skills and struggles. So if I'm going too fast for you, rest assured that there is a recording that you can go back and actually stop, pause me and rewind, go back and do the thing step by step. If I'm going too slowly, Xperiencify does have some fabulous Help Center articles with screenshots that walk you step by step through. There are replays of this and many other trainings in our on our YouTube channel, which is also on our Help Center training page. So you can go back and you can watch me at 2x if you prefer, if I'm going too slowly for you. And you can also post if you have a specific question in the Facebook group. So we have lots of resources, lots of ways for you to get your answers, and the tech team are always on standby. So go to the chat widget in your Xperiencify account and they will get you sorted if I'm going too slow for you. Okay, so there's some chat here. Happy birthday, thank you, and good morning. Okay, how do we get the info for submitting our MVP from EPM to XP? Lots of acronyms there. I hope everyone else understands those. So, Sue, you just need to email me and I will add you to the little micro course that, or if you're in EPM already, there should be a page in EPM that says, I want to access this bonus. But if you can't find that, just email me, Danielle at Xperiencify.com. I'll pop that in the chat for you. Okay, Danielle. Please bear with me today, guys. I've had enormous tech difficulties. I had to buy a new laptop. Some others may know that I have been, it's been a bit of a struggle. So please bear with me as I work my way through new equipment that isn't properly set up yet. So, okay. So that's my email address in the chat. If anyone else is an EPM student that has access to that done for you bonus. Okay, and I will get you set up. All right, and yes, Megan says it's under bonuses in the EPM dashboard. Thanks, Megan. All right, now in the events calendar, there was a link to the handout for today. I'm going to put it also in this chat for anyone who didn't get it. It will prompt you to make a copy in your Google account. Okay, so if it says little, do you want to make a copy of this? That's so that you can fill it in and it's saved to you and you're not seeing everyone else's stuff. Okay. Teresa, welcome. Okie doke. What we're going to do today is actually, I'm going to walk you step by step through. If I'm looking over here, it's because I've got my other laptop set up with my notes because as I explained, it's been a bit of a tech nightmare. What we're going to do is set up from the very beginning a course in Xperiencify. So stick with me. I'll be going through, how many steps have we got? Has everyone been able to access the handout before I get started? Yeah, thumbs up. And everyone can hear me and see me? Yay. Okay. We're not doing too badly then, huh? Okay, and at the top of the handout, it does have a link to the Help Center, okay? So that should always be your first port of call if you're like, what on earth? There's over 300 articles in there with screenshots. So please dig into that. The search function is reasonably good. If it doesn't come up with the thing that you're hoping it will, try a different sort of word and an alternative word, and hopefully you'll be able to use that really well. Okay, so we log into Xperiencify account, and there's the link there to the login page, or you can use your magic link, which would have been sent to you when you signed up for a course creator administrator account with Xperiencify. Please note that it is different to your account as a student. Okay, if you're an EPM student or a student of someone else who has a course in Xperiencify, you do need a course creator account, and there's an unlimited free trial. So all you need to do is go to our website and sign up for an account if you don't already have one. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and bear with me because I haven't shared my screen from this computer before. Oh, okay, it's got a big exclamation mark. Oh, I have to give permission. All right, Zoom. Has anyone else recently, changed? I'm not only am I changing laptops, I'm changing systems. I'm going from Windows to Apple. So this is just extra. Okay. Oh boy. You've got no idea. Try again. Now I've given it permission. Okay. The wonders, like tech is so great when it works. Please restart your audio sharing application such as, oh my goodness, which password does it want? Yay! Okay, people can see my screen, it says. You can see my screen? Wow, look at that. Thanks for bearing with me bumbling through all of this. Okay, so I'm in my Xperiencify account, and I'm going to go to, as it says in the handout, the green plus button at the top. And if you don't already have a course open, I'm just going to create one straight from scratch and walk through it with you. Okay, so the first thing that we actually need is a course name. It just by default populates awesome course name. Obviously, you want to put in the name of the course that you're going to create. And then I'm just going to call it test course. And we need a course image, and the size of the image, recommended size of the image is there. I'm going to upload an image I just created in Canva. If I can find it, oh my goodness. Okay. XP trainings, here we go. Can't open the file. Oh, what? Oh, that is no fun whatsoever. All right, let me just pop in something from Unsplash. Okay. So did you guys know that we've got this awesome integration with Unsplash now for everywhere that you can add an image? You can just pick a Creative Commons 0 image and look at that. All right, and the site icon is the favicon, also known as favicon, and that's the little icon that shows in the tab up the top. So by default, we just have an Xperiencify one there. If you have a logo for your company, you can upload it. It does need to be an ICO file, which is a special format for the favicon. And I've got in the handout there a link to how to create a favicon in the correct format. So you can just, it's free. It's just a simple tool. You can upload your JPEG or PNG, any other image file to it, and it will return to you an ICO file so that you can upload that and replace the Xperiencify icon if that's important to you. It's completely not. It's just it's a wish to, not a have to. So don't get stuck on that if that's seeming too hard for you. And here you can, next step is to customize the slug of the course URL here. So what it will be by default is whatever, I happen to have a custom one in here for my company, but it will by default be your name or whatever account, whatever name you put into your Xperiencify account. It will be, if you don't have a custom domain, it will be .xperiencify.io. And then the bit that comes after the / is customizable. So because I have called my course test, I'm going to save that. And that will now be my URL for that course. And you can use that for popping in any, correspondence or setting it to another website or something like that. And we suggest you put in a course description of very short, of 1 to 2 sentences, which is focused on the mission of your course, okay? Not kind of the items that they get in the course, but the transformation that you're offering your students. So how will their lives change after they've taken your course? And this can be used later on to populate other sections in your course, because it's like a merge field, a token we call it, called course description. So you can pop that in at any point throughout the course, if you're reminding people or you're using it on a sales page or something like that. And that is step 1. So, it's already checked off. Why is it checked off? Okay, and I've got, my sounds are not right on that. Okay, I'm going to go in and change my sounds later. I'll walk you through the sound settings in a minute. But step 1, that's all it is. So we've got course name, the course image, the favicon, the homepage URL, and the course description. And then course step 1 is complete. Woo! Step 2 is payment, course price. Okay, so you can have a course that's free. And the way you would do that is to just completely delete that and completely delete that. Okay, and so then on your order form, which will then be like a registration page, for example, if you're offering your course as part of some other package that the person has already paid for example, it will be like a registration where they would just put in their name and email address, or if it's like a freebie that you're giving away, you'll just take out all mention of money on this step 2, and then all mention of money will be removed from your order form, and then you can change the words however you like so that it's very clear that they don't have to make a payment. However, if we're doing a normal course, we can set up the price here, and you have the option to do installment plans. So this will be multiple payments that add up to a total. And the total for the installment plan doesn't need to be the same as the total for a single payment. The usual practice, I believe, is to increase for payment plans the total price by 10 to 20% to offset the risk that's involved in allowing people to pay over time, and any further fees that you're taking on by offering that sort of plan. At the moment, we have just monthly or yearly payment plans. You can't do weekly at this point in time. And if you're outside the US or not billing in US dollars, you can go to account settings. The link is at the bottom here, and you can choose the currency that is relevant for your customers. Okay, you can only choose one throughout the whole school. So if you're in Australia, you might be billing in Australian dollars, or if you're in Canada or the UK, you choose, or wherever else in the world, you can choose your currency in account settings. If you have a membership site, rather than like a course where there's like a payment that they make over like a running subscription. Up the top here, there's two options, so single payment or subscription, and it will tell you which one is active. You can add in the subscription period and how much it is each time. You can choose, say, every month and year at the moment. So every 2 months or whatever, or every month or once a year. You've got the ability to add discount coupons, as many as you want. And I suggest that in order to test your Stripe account, Stripe is the payment processor we use in Xperiencify. And you do need to set up Stripe even if your course is free. That's just the way that the order form works. It doesn't mean that they need to take any money, but it just activates the order form. You can set up a discount coupon of 100%, not 100%, of it, so that you only need to pay $1 for your course. So whatever the price of your course is, say it's $500, you would set up a coupon code that is $499, and then you can test it as a student, enter that coupon code, reduce the price of your course down to $1 so that you can make sure that the actual payment does land in your bank account so that Stripe is fully set up correctly. Okay, you don't want to, you can also have discount coupons of 100% so that it makes it free for certain people. You can gift it to them. However, in testing your Stripe account, you do actually want some payment to go through so that you can test that that connection is there. So the easiest way to do that is to just bill yourself $1 and make sure that it lands in your bank account. Does that make sense to everyone? Can I get a thumbs up? How are we feeling about the first two steps? Good? So? Thumbs up, some people? Oh, good. Awesome. I can't see all of you at the moment, but I'll take the ones that I can see. All right. We've got some chat. Oh, I wasn't looking at the chat. I'm so sorry. Let me just pause for a sec to look at the chat. Email question. We'll get to emails in a minute, Megan. PayPal is coming. We are aware that there are some countries that can't use Stripe, and the PayPal integration is coming. You can use other payment platforms with Zapier integration. But at the moment, to use the Xperiencify order form, it's just a Stripe right now. But we do have on our radar other payment processors. It is quite complex to set up, so just bear with us while we try to do that. Stripe is the most universally, I know not 100%, but it's the most universally accepted, and it has very good merchant support. So much better than PayPal. PayPal tends to err on the side of the purchaser. That's why we've selected Stripe, because it's a very robust system. Okay, the Stripe connection is further down. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, the Stripe connection. Okay. The Stripe connection is in your account section. Doesn't have it here. Okay, I'll just quickly walk you through how to do that. So on the left-hand side, we have a column here of menu options, and I'm going to account, and then you go to advanced, and then payment, connect payment gateways. And what you do here is enter the email address of the account you have with Stripe, and then it will say connect instead of disconnect, because mine is actually connected because it says status completed. So you enter the email address of your Stripe account, click connect, and then walk through a couple of steps that Stripe then takes you through to enable Xperiencify and Stripe to talk to each other, okay, and to confirm that you're the admin of that Stripe account. Okay, it's a very simple process. And in the Xperiencify Help Center, there are screenshots, etc., of exactly how to do that. Okay. All right, we'll go back to my test course. So that's step 1 and step 2. Oh, look, I'm going to go in and fix this sound because I'm supposed to be getting default. Why is that wrong? I'm supposed to be getting a cha-ching there. Okay, I might have to talk to the tech team about that. I don't know why that's happening. All right, we're into the meat and potatoes now. Or for vegetarians, the tofu and chickpeas. This is step 3 where we add our course content. And you'll notice that we have 3 little menus across here. Modules and trainings are where most of your stuff is going to go, okay? And you don't need to use these other 2 at all if you don't want to. We do have these other 2, replays and bonuses. If you choose to separate your content, for example, you have you have all of your like pre-recorded trainings in training content in there, but you also offer live coaching calls, for example, and then you want to make the replays of those available to your students to watch again, or for those who didn't attend to be able to watch, okay? But it keeps it separate from the core content of your course. So we have that replays and bonuses operates in a similar way. Like when you're launching, if you want to offer particular bonuses to your prospects, you know, there might be a fast action bonus on the first day for signing up early, and then there might be like further bonuses that you add later on. Those can live in a separate page, which you would then add a navigation link to at the top of your course pages so that they can access those. It just keeps it nicely separate to the core content so that students aren't getting confused between what's extra, what's a live replay, and what you actually want to teach them as the core component of your course. Okay, and we do have all the way through, I forgot to mention that there are these little tutorials, there's what's this show video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or you want to go back again, if you're walking through this setup months from now and you can't remember what we did here, you can watch all these little tutorials that will help you through. We try to make it as intuitive as possible with the layout of all of the steps to check them off and keep them separate so that you can see clearly what it is that you're editing. Okay, so we're in modules and trainings. This is step 3 on the handout. And the way we separate out content in Xperiencify, some course platforms use different terminology, but we use modules are the big divisions and trainings are the smaller divisions that sit underneath or within a module. Okay, so modules and then trainings. The first thing we need to do is create a module, and you only need to have one module if it's a very short thing or a challenge. You don't have to have multiple modules, but it makes it better to organize longer courses. So we give you that option. Okay, I'm going to just call it module 1 because I'm not feeling very creative right now. And you can add emojis into there as well to make it fun by hitting this little emoji button. And then here's a space for a module image. Lots of people like to use like a thumbnail that has the module name or the course name and then module 1 written on it to distinguish between all the different modules, or you can just use an image that has some topical relevance to what you're teaching. And again, you can use the Unsplash integration here. Let's see. Okay, so there's lots of, oh, that's an electronic. Love the old typewriters. Have you seen, I was in a store yesterday and they had these keyboards. new like computer keyboards that are like the old typewriters. Has anyone seen those? Really cool. They're called pop boards. Okay, so we've got module name, module image, a module description. This is like a one-line, a very short description of your module. You can change the URL of the module if it will by default populate whatever you put into here in the name. But if, say, for example, you've got a very long module name and you want to just use the acronyms, or you just want to use one of the keywords for that, you can change that there. And you can award some bonus points for your students when they have completed a whole module, if you like, and you'll put that here. And this is also the preview link. When you want to see what the module looks like, you can click that link in particular. Okay, so here you'll see I've got one module. You can do this setup in several ways. You can create all the shells of your modules, so the big topic divisions, and then go back in and put the trainings in underneath, if you like, or you can do it module by module. So module 1 and then do all the trainings, and then module 2, all the trainings, however it makes sense to you. I'll just pop in another module here so that you can see how they look when they're nested. By default, we have these little cartoon images that you're welcome to use, but they do populate randomly. You can't really select which one. So if you want a particular graphic in there, you'll need to upload it yourself. And there's lots of free graphics websites, like, for example, pexels.com or Unsplash, that provide images that you can use for free without any attribution needed. Okay, so when we've got multiple modules, they just nest like that, and there's a little arrow here that you can collapse or expand them. Within module 1, I'm then going to add my first training. Please use a more imaginative name than that. And then you'll see the similar things here, the training name, which it will automatically populate in the URL here, which you can alter, just like in the module. We've got room for a thumbnail here. We have increased the recommended size of the thumbnails here. You might notice if you've been through this before, they were showing a bit blurry before with the recommended size. There have been some changes to the user interface. So please use 2000 by 1200 pixels image if you're noticing that your thumbnails are looking a little bit blurry. We have the space here for a training blurb. You don't need to use this at all if you don't want to. It's completely optional, but it will sit directly below the title of the training. And I will show you what the page looks like in a second. This is a training blurb. And we also have the option to use training notes. And this will sit below the video on your training page. And I'll show you what that looks like. You can format this text by highlighting it, and the little formatting menu will come up. Or if you hit the / key, this is the biggest tip ever for using Xperiencify platform. If you use the / key, which looks like that there, it will, anywhere that you can enter text, it does change the menu, but it will show this pop-up menu where you can add all sorts of things. Okay, attach. Oh, this is new. Wow. Attach a file there. You can embed HTML. Say, for example, if you have like a calendar that you want, or any sort of image that you wanted to embed, you can do that there. You can add an image. You can add another video, but I want to caution you about putting multiple videos on a training page. This isn't the main video. I'll show you where to put the main video, but you can put a secondary video if you need to. You can add emojis, gifs, tokens, this is what I was talking about before when you want to put the student's first name or the course name or the course description. And you can also set up custom fields, which could be things like a calendar booking link. These are things that are unique to each student. It could be, or what I've got set up for my coaching students is a tracking sheet. So I set up a Google Doc and then I populate that into their student account as their unique link to their tracking sheet so that only them and I can access it. And that's set up as a custom field, and I can then put that into this notes field so that they can click on it and access that. I'm just going to select this and copy it and just duplicate it a few times so that you can see when I preview this what it looks like. Okay, save. And you'll notice across the top here we've got 5 menu items. This is just the basic info for the training. So the training name, the image, any text that you want, and the URL. Media is where you'll add your actual training video. Okay, and there are 2 ways. We can either host your video, so you can just upload it from your computer and then Xperiencify will host that video for you. Or if you have your video already in YouTube or on Vimeo or one of the other video hosting platforms, you can add the link to it there, so it will actually embed it, but the video lives on your Vimeo or your YouTube account. If you click on upload video file, it will take you to your documents folder for you to choose where I don't even have any videos in there. Oh, I haven't set that up right. Anyway, you would go to your documents folder on your computer and upload an MP4 or MOV file. Okay, they're the 2 video file formats that we support hosting of, or embed it from a Vimeo or YouTube or other link there, and then save. Okay, and then you'll see a little progress bar that comes along the bottom that shows you how long until your video is uploaded fully. Then we have the release timing section. Okay, so by default, all new trainings are set to draft. That means that no one can see them except you as the administrator. And then you'll click on this and you can choose for the training to be available immediately. That's like from the moment that a student joins your course. You can choose a specific date on the calendar and a specific time. The times at the moment are in Pacific US time. So just to make an adjustment if you're not in Pacific time zone. You can choose after X number of days from when they join. So if your course is set to evergreen, that means that anyone can join your course at any time. It's not like you start on Monday, the 1st of February, and everyone moves through the course at the same time. Evergreen is when anyone can join at any time, and from that moment that they join, the training will release that number of days afterwards. So you might want to release trainings every week, and you would select after X days and then put 7 days on here. If you would like to have your trainings release, for example, if you're in EPM, I don't know what they're releasing at the moment, but say they release every Monday and every Wednesday, you could select on the first Monday. So that would be for the first week of training, and for the second week of training, it would be on the second Monday after joining, for example. Okay, so there's quite a few different options there for the release trainings. If you want to go to binge mode, which means that you can set up a schedule for the release of your trainings, but if you want to reward action takers, those who do move through the content quickly, if you don't want to slow them down, and you want a training to release immediately after the previous one has been completed, you would select this little toggle here to green, and that will dynamically release all of the trainings in your entire course when the previous training has been completed. Okay, that's a way to offer you know, a reward to those students who want to just get through the content. You may not want to do that. I have, you know, it depends on the length of your course, because you kind of want to make your students stop, pause, implement, and think about the lessons in most cases. But there may be cases like, for example, if you're doing a challenge, if anyone's gone through the Course Profit Accelerator that Murray has put together, you will notice that it's a 10-day program, but if you move through the content quickly, he has it on binge mode. So he rewards those action takers who want to go faster. All right, so there's that option there. I'm going to turn that off. And then we would save points. Now, this is where we put the action steps for our training. And you'll know if you followed Xperiencify at all that we follow the experience formula, where we don't just want passive consumers of videos, just looking at things and saying, yeah, got that. We want them to stop and take action and implement what we've been teaching them. So what we recommend is to have at least 2 action steps, not too many, probably not more than 5. But the first one, we've got two actions set up by default here for every training. You can change them and customize them. You can remove them if you don't want any action steps. But the first one we suggest is to just consume the content, is watch a video. We want them to be able to check that off. So when we click on this, it will expand. You can expand and collapse the action steps by clicking on the little arrow here. And there's 3 different types of actions in Xperiencify. There's a simple checkbox, there's a multiple choice option, and then there's an essay response. For the watched video, all we want them to do is check it off that they've done it. So we're going to leave that as a simple checkbox. You can customize what the action name is. You can customize the text here. All these little boxes will tell you what they do and what they look like. We're going to go ahead later on and look at a preview of what the page looks like. You've got room here to put some instructions if it's a more involved action step that you want them to take, or for the watched video, you can use this section to give a short text recap of the main points of the video, so that they can, when they're checking it off, they can really, it kind of reinforces it in a different learning style, because the video is usually, you know, very sound-based. You may have some graphics in there as well, but the text also gives different learning styles the opportunity to reinforce those points in that way. By default, we have a little cartoon action image here. This is the format of this image is square, but it shows up as a vignetted circle. So just so that you know, and we will see in the preview later, it shows up in a little circle next to the action step. Lots of people like to customize these to their own style, the vibe of their course. And you can use a different one for every action, or if you've got like a particular one for a type of action, like watched video, you can duplicate that one for every time there's a watched video action step and use the same one. We have if you don't like the term done it, some people don't, you can change that to anything you want. And you can put an emoji in there that's relevant to the type of action that you've asked them to do, like put a little TV in there, or a running step if it's a fitness program, or whatever you want. This is where you would choose the amount of points that you're offering for that action step. And you also have the ability to set a tag to the student when they have completed that action. Now, tagging is a bit more of an advanced feature, and I will be going through that in a later training called Advanced Gamification. There are replays of the Advanced Gamification trainings in the Help Center or the YouTube channel, so do check that out if you can't wait for the next version that I'm doing live. But it's a very handy thing to be able to do to tag a student based on the action that they've taken. Okay, so we're going to collapse that one. So what we recommend is one implementation action step, and then, one consumption of the lesson, and then at least one implementation step. Okay, and as I mentioned before, you can choose between multiple choice or essay response. And now essay response doesn't mean that they have to write an essay. It just means it's a free form text response that is private between you, the instructor, and the student. No one else can see it when it's in an action step. And you can set the limit, the minimum amount of words that you want them to respond with if necessary. So if you want them to give quite a detailed response, and you've written that in the action notes here, you've said, you know, really explain, provide feedback, or let us know how that felt to you, and you want them to add more than just one word, you can set here the minimum response words, and they'll get a little pop-up if they haven't complied with that says, please, please expand on that. We would like at least 50 words, or we would like at least 2 words, please, so that it's clear what you're actually asking the student to do there. Okay, so essay response doesn't mean a whole essay. It just means a free form text response. Multiple choice, you can have as many options as you want, and you just add possible answers there with the green plus button, and we get you to select the correct answer. And the student will not receive the points unless they select the correct answer. You can set it so that they can reattempt in a certain number of minutes or straight away. So if you want them to be able to reattempt straight away, you'll just set this try again in minutes to 0, and it just gives them a little countdown if they've selected the incorrect response. And again, it's the same as the simple checkbox. There's an action image. You can choose the number of points and give them a tag if that's relevant for what you're doing. Okay, and so if you want another action step, you can just click the green add plus button here, and those will all get stacked underneath, and you can expand or collapse them like that. Okay, so that's the 4th out of 5 options in the training, and then we're going to downloads, and this is where you would put any resources that you want a student to download. It might be a worksheet, it might be a roadmap, some sort of visual, it could be a transcript or an audio file of the video, anything that you want there. It could be the slides that you've used, the PowerPoint slides, a Word doc, anything there. So you would just click on Add Plus and upload the resource from your computer documents. If it's a massive file, you may want to use Handbrake, which is a free compressing tool that we suggest people use, especially for large videos. But if it's a big PowerPoint file or a big PDF or something like that, you would probably be wise to compress it using Handbrake and then upload it from there. You can change the name of whatever the resource is that you want to appear there. And then I should add something so that you can see what it looks like. That's not an appropriate emoji, but I'm just doing it quickly. Okay, so close. What I'm going to show you now is how to preview what the training looks like. You can always, by the way, go to up here under your test, under your course name, there is a link here that will show you the whole course, and you can move through it in preview mode. But if you just wanted to preview that training, I'll go back again. I did that a bit quickly. You're into your step 3 modules and trainings, into the actual training that you want to look at. Click on it and then go to preview link. Come on, internet. Okay, so this is what a single training page looks like. We've got the pre-text up here, which I've called module 1. We've got the training name. Yours is going to be more imaginative than that. This is a training blurb. That's where the text would sit that you've entered into the training blurb field. This is where the thumbnail image sits over the top of the video. And when I've got a video in there, I don't right now, but if I've got a video in there, it will show the little video play button, and then I will click on that and the video will start playing. You can then make it into full screen mode if viewers want that. And this is where the training notes field text will sit. And this is where any resources will sit that you have added as a download for them that they can click on, and it will download to their computer. In the very next step, we're actually going to go in and modify this template so that you can make it look however you like. And this is where the 2 action steps are sitting underneath. Watched video. This is where you can put a text recap of what was in the video. Click on that. You can change the sound that you choose. If cha-ching is not appropriate for your vibe, you can choose from, I think we've got about a dozen in there, but you can also upload your own MP3 of any sound that you want and select that as the sound that plays when they check it off. And here's the multiple choice. I forget which one was correct. I think it was number 1 that was correct. So I'll show you what happens when it's incorrect. Not quite. Try again in 4 minutes. I had it set to 5 minutes. So it says try again in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. So that you can actually customize what that text says as well. So if it's a quiz question, like they need to answer something in the video, they might have to go back and rewatch the video if they got it wrong, if they're not sure what the answer is. Okay, and when they get it right, it's not going to let me do it now, but I could select the correct answer and then it will award the points for that action step. Okay, so that is the preview. Is everyone clear on those 3 steps now? Let me just check in. We've got thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me look at the chat.
Danielle, sorry to interrupt, but is there a replay available? Because I'm going to have to hop off early.
Yeah, we've always got replays. Okay. It's going to be
okay,
in the Help Center.
of your training. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, everything that I do, we record. It's in the YouTube channel, and it's also I'll pop it in the Facebook group as well as in the Xperiencify Help Center.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right, awesome. I'm going to answer the questions at the end. I'm aware of the time now. I'm going to keep moving forward. Okay, so that's step 3. And similarly, if you've got replays, you add a replay there. Bonuses, you add a bonus there. Okay. Step 4 is really where and this is brand new this week, guys. This didn't look like this a couple of days ago. We actually have a visual representation of all of the course page templates. Okay. And the 3 main, I think I have it in my handout. So this is step 4. The very essentials that you need to look at and make sure that they're the way you want them to appear is the homepage and the single training and the order form. If you are using our Xperiencify order form, which I recommend you do for the simple fact that if you use our order form, it means that as soon as the student has registered or paid, it opens up into the course homepage automatically. They don't have to go to their email to try and find an email that's probably in the junk folder and then not remember which email address they signed up with and wrestle with a login page and then end up having to complain to your customer service that they can't get into their course, or just get very flustered and not even bother. Or get distracted by everything else that's in their email account and forget that they just signed up for your awesome course. So by using the Xperiencify order form, it opens up immediately and they get to see your welcome video and start taking action straight away. So the homepage is this one, and this is what will open up every time a student logs in. We can preview it, we can edit it, we can copy the link to use in so your emails to your students throughout the course to get them to go to a specific page. That's really handy. Okay, I'm going to go in and edit. So this is step 4 in the handout. This is our homepage. It shows us up the top which page we are editing. And you'll see when I hover over a part in the page, a little green outline appears, and that designates that this is a block and this is what I am going to be editing, this block. So that's the navigation header. This one, come on, this one is the countdown timer. You can take that out if you don't want to use a countdown timer, but we do recommend you use it because it really helps self-paced learning. It helps to combat procrastination for self-paced learning. And we go into a lot of that in some of our training. So do look into countdown timers in the Help Center. We have an article on that and why you should use them. This block is now outlined. This is the actual training content where we have the first bit of text, then we have the welcome message, then the training blurb, then the video with the play button, which you can customize the color of. And underneath that, if you have any training notes, that's where that will, oh, sorry, this is the homepage. So, sorry, this is not training. This is the welcome video. Okay, and you'll fully customize this on the right by clicking on Edit Content. If you want to change the layout, you'll click on Edit Layout. If you want to move the blocks up and down, you use these little arrows. If you want to duplicate a block, you would hit the little copy button there. And if you want to get rid of the block altogether, you hit the trash icon. If you've got something set up, for example, this is really handy for the navigation header. If you've got it set up with all of the links that you want and you've got it all pretty with the colors that you want, and you want to duplicate that onto other pages, click on Save to Library, and then that block will appear in your saved blocks section here that you can then reuse on other pages. That's really handy. Then the next block underneath is where we have our goals, course goals for the student. We recommend you have a minimum, a target, and a stretch goal so that students can see results and they have milestones to aim for throughout the course, and that they aren't rewarded just at the very end. Particularly in long courses, it's really helpful for them to see what they're actually aiming to achieve. You can set a different number of points for these ones by going into Edit Content. You can, of course, change everything, the whole look, all of the text. And you can also set celebrations to full screen celebrations to play when they check off each goal. Each one can be different if you like. And then after the goals, we have what we call pre-actions, and these are little administrative, easy things that you want the student to do before actually digging into the course content. They might be things like join a Facebook group, or whitelist your email address, or set time in their calendar to actually do the course, or any other little thing that's quite simple that they can check off. It might be book coaching calls or something like that. Okay, so you can customize how many there are there in Edit Content. in the Help Center, it walks you through how to do all of these with the different blocks. So don't worry if this is a really new thing for you. You can change, of course, all the colors. You can put in hyperlinks there. You'll see that that's green hyperlink text there. For example, if you've got your calendar booking link or something like that, that you want to include. And then is the very next step, which is the first training that you want. And so this will, as each time your student logs back into the course, they are taken to the home page, and this block here will show the very next training that they have that's released to them that they're up to, okay? So they don't have to go back and remember where they were. They're not faced with an entire wall of modules and trainings, like 87 videos that they need to feel that they start feeling demotivated about. It just shows them the very next one there. You can also show them up to the next 3 trainings if you like to give them a bit of, you know, like a lead up roadmap to it. But I usually like to set that to just 1, and you would change that by clicking on Edit Content. Here it says show next available trainings, and I would change that to 1 just for my personal preference. Always close and save when you alter anything in the page builder. And then you have the footer, which you can have links. You can have, oh my goodness, I can't get rid of this window here. My Zoom window is, okay, there we go. Then you have the footer block here, which you can customize. You can have your logo in there. You can have copyright. Yeah, it's not 2022 anymore, is it? We need to change that to 2023. You can have your company name. You can have different links. You can have a link to your website there. Anything that you want in the footer. You can have your little blurb that you say about your company, about who you help, whatever you want in that footer, and then you can save it to the library and then copy that over to other page templates if you want to use those. Okay, so that was the home page. I'm going to go back to the page list here. These are all the core pages. So we can get to these through here, or when we were in the steps, the admin section of our course here, we were at step 4. And so if you were back in here, you could select on any of these page templates here that you want to edit or preview. And you've also got the option to add a custom page if you wanted to use that for example, a sales page or a landing page, or you wanted an extra resources page or a scheduling page. If you've got a big coaching course like Experience Product Masterclass, you'll notice that in their course setup, which is hosted on Xperiencify, you'll see that they have a scheduling page. They have various other pages that are linked at the top of the menu, the navigation menu. So that's where you would add those there. Okay, so back to the essentials. That was homepage that we did. Single training is the other one that you would really need to make sure it has everything that you want. So we've got by default all the essential components. We've got the navigation header. This is where the training content will appear that you have entered in step 3. Okay, so in modules and trainings for module 1, training 1, all of this information that you've entered here, your text, your video, the action steps and any downloads, that's where is it first? No, this one. Oh my goodness. The Zoom bar is getting in my way. Okay, there we go. So we're in single training page here, and it does warn you that this is just like showing you the layout, but the content will change for every single training that you have. It populates into this template. Okay, so that's where the module name sits, the training name, training description. That's where the video will show up, any training notes you have, any downloadable resources you have there, they will all populate from that step 3 that you've entered. And this is the action block. and this is the very next training. So it's in a very like a linear vertical style, showing you as they move down the page, it's just the very next thing you want them to do. And of course you can customize these things with all the colors, backgrounds, fonts, whatever you like, according to your style. I helped one course creator a couple of weeks ago with his drum course, and it was all in like black background, like dark mode, and it was really, really cool. There was another course creator that had their colors as black and gold, black, gold, and white, and it really looked nice. So if you have a different style, if you don't like, this is just, you know, the basics, you can customize it in any way that you like. Okay, so where are we? Step 4, and the order form. Okay, so these are the essentials. This is what your order form, this is, there's an order form link, and this is what will show according to what you have put in step 2 in your course setup for the pricing. This field here is where the prospect will enter their details. If you have a price for your course, the credit card field will show. If there's no price in there, the credit card field will not show. So you don't need to worry about that. It will just look like a registration page. It'll just be first name, last name, email, and phone if you want to collect the phone. And sometimes you might, because we have this really cool feature where you can send not only emails to your student, but text messages as well as voicemails. So it's really awesome. If you want to collect the phone, you can add or remove that field. And then all of the payment options that you have entered in at step 2 will appear there. If there is no payment, if it's a free course, there won't be any payment options there. It will just get them to agree to your terms and conditions, and then click on whatever you want this button to say. Right now it says complete your purchase, but you can fully customize that. That could be let's get started, or register now, or anything like that. Okay. The way you would edit the button is to go into edit content, and you can change the colors here. Going to right, so we have at the top here, left-hand column is this one. Right-hand column data is this one. And then you've got places to put your Google or Facebook, Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel, anything you want to capture there. And you have block visibility. So you can actually hide your order form. If for some reason you close cart and you don't want this available anymore, but the link is out there in the world, you can actually turn it off so that people can't actually see it if you like. Okay, so where you would change the button is in the right-hand column. You can choose to show the coupon code or not. And the terms and conditions get either put as a pop-up text, which you can copy and paste your terms and conditions into here. Or if you have a terms and conditions page on your website, for example, you can actually link to an external link there. And so when people click on the terms and conditions, they will be taken to that external site. They need to come back and click that they agree to the terms and conditions before they can actually register or pay. Okay, that's just to protect you. All right, let me check in. Whoa, the chat, I haven't been checking this. All right, so what time is it? I'm already at 1 hour, aren't I? And I haven't yet got to the experience engine. I do this every time. My regulars here will know this. I'm failing miserably in this respect. Okay, I'll get back into okay, let's go back to, we've done steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step 6, just so that you know what's coming up, is just where you get all the links to give to people. You might have people helping you with building out websites or sales pages. That's where you would get those links. The order form is the one that you send to buyers or that you have on your sales page, okay? You copy that link and that opens up to your order form where they entered their name, address, email address, and payment details. Okay, so that's all step 6 is. Step 5 is where you have the secret sauce. Add the secret sauce. We have celebrations and we have the experience engine. The experience engine is what we call automations, which include emails and things that happen in the background, setting triggers to do certain things within the course based on the students' action taking. I'll just do quickly what the celebrations are. These are full screen, animated with sound effect celebrations that you can trigger when a student achieves a certain number of points or checks off a goal, when they have taken action in some way in the course. I'll show you what the triggers are. But we do have, there's a little video here to walk you through what celebrations are. But at a celebration, we do have here a celebrations gallery. So we've got some pre-built celebrations that you are welcome to use. There's 3 pages of them, and you can favorite any celebrations that you want to use, and then they will populate in this tab if you want to use them at a future date. Any ones that you do actually have in your account will be under your celebrations. And you can use the search function here to put in a term that you want to try and find a celebration that we've pre-built for you in the gallery. If you want to build your own from scratch, we have 3 components to a celebration. There's the central image, which for this one at the moment, it's set to green check mark. We have the background animation, which at the moment is confetti. And we have the sound effect, which at the moment is set to applause. Okay, and so you customize your message here, and you can use the token of first name by hitting the / key. You get this little menu up, or you can hit the curly bracket key and up will come this menu as well. So if you want to say first name, that will populate with the student's first name. Great work. You can use emojis by hitting the / key. And that makes it fun. You can, by clicking on the plus icon here, you can select any of these. There's 6,525 pages of different animations that you have to choose from, okay? So we have a lot. You can't actually upload yet custom animations, but you can upload custom sounds. So please look through here. We do have a search function and you are able to heart any that you particularly like that you want to come back to easily. And then they will live in your favorites. So if I really like that one, I heart it. And then it will appear in here where I've got lots that I've already favorited. Okay. Okay, so select one of these. It checks the box and then you say save. So it has changed that central image. If I don't want confetti in the background, but I want stars, I can search for stars. I might want to use this one. I can change here the speed that it is animated at. So if I want it to go really fast, if I want it to loop back around itself so that it replays throughout the duration of the celebration, I can check that box on or off. And this is where the duration of the whole celebration is set. So it says select the wait time before the celebration closes. So I can make a long one of 10 seconds. By default, I think they're all set to 5 seconds, but it could be a very, very quick one if it's just like a flash on the screen. Okay, it's up to you. Depends on what you're saying, what you're celebrating them for, and what the images and the sound effect is. You can even record your own voice if you like, and that's why you would either want it to be looped or not. Okay, I don't want applause for this one, but I want a king celebration. So that one. This is where you would upload a new sound, like a custom sound effect, an MP3 file that you can get. There's freesound.org. There's lots of free sound platforms that you can download sounds from that you can use freely. Use that sound, and then I want to play it to check how I want. The timing seems all right to me, so I'm going to save and exit that. And then I can name it anything that I want. Not jail, goal. And this is where I would set up, you may remember back in the beginning on the homepage when we were setting up goals. If I want a particular celebration to play when they check off goal 1, I would set that up here, name it goal 1 or whatever. I don't have to add a starting trigger because in this instance, because the goals on the homepage is where I would set that trigger, that this is where that celebration plays. If it's not on the goals page, I would add a trigger. This can be like on first login. So this can be a welcome celebration. This can be when they've earned a certain number of points, if they've finished a training or they've completed the whole course. That means all of the action steps in the course. So you can set that trigger there, and you can set more than one trigger. So say you have a habit that you're trying to get them to build. You can have, you know, for every day or week, you can have a similar action step, and then you would set several triggers for that same celebration to play if you wanted to use it at different points throughout the course. Please be aware that there is a toggle here to toggle celebrations on or off. Okay, you can play them to just to preview what they look like, but this toggle turns it on or off. Okay, and if it's turned off, it will not show to the student, even if that trigger that you have set has been completed. Okay, if the celebration is not turned on, it will not show to the student. Okay. Similarly, in Experience Engine, we have a toggle here to turn it on or off. So you can have lots of things set up, but have them turned off until you're ready for certain things to be accessed by the student. We have a main toggle for, this is the actual experience, but within this experience, we might have several components. So we might have an email that's going, we might have an SMS that's going out to them, say the different toggles. We might have adding a tag to them for doing something. I'd need to have this tag set up first. So you see there that there's within the one experience, I'm going to collapse that. So that's a single experience. I can expand it and I can see all of the components. I can turn individual components on or off within that experience. But if the main toggle here is turned off, then it won't fire. Okay, so you've got to make sure that that is set to on if that's what your intention is. Okay, and if you want to create a new experience, you do that from here. You can use our playbook, which has lots of pre-built experiences in it. We have different categories. You can use those or close that out, or you can create new from scratch. Okay, and you can choose the trigger, the starting triggers from this list here. First login, last login, no login. So this is like, for example, if a student hasn't been attending to the course, hasn't been present and logging into the course, if they have a tag added, if a badge is added, they've started, a training is released, a training is completed, modules completed, the whole course is completed, if they've been added to the course or they've earned a certain number of points. So you've got lots of starting triggers there to choose from to set up your actions. So have a play around. It's quite an advanced feature. All you really need is a welcome sequence, which is set up there for you by default with a welcome email. And you can customize what that text says here. You can send yourself a test email. This test email will only go to the email address that you have set up as your Xperiencify email address. That goes to you as the administrator, just as a test. But you can also, as a general Experience Engine feature, you can choose to send emails to the student, to yourself as the administrator, or to a third party, someone else. So for example, if you have someone on your team helping you, or you have a fulfillment company that's sending out things, you can have an email as part of an Experience Engine automation that gets sent to different people. Okay, so just make sure that if it's for the student, it's selected there as the student, and each student will receive a copy of that if they are in the course and they satisfy that trigger that you've set up. We do recommend you have the magic link here, which is a token, which again you can access from by clicking the / key anywhere you can enter text. / key brings up the menu, and then you scroll down to tokens, and it will show you the available tokens for that particular field. We've got first name, last name, email, magic link, course name, their password, your first name. So this is the course creator's first name, pardon me. A particular training magic link, so that will take them straight to a particular training. So if you're notifying them of a release of a training, you could put the specific magic link there rather than having them come back to the homepage. And then any of the custom fields that you've set up there, I happen to have 3 of them already set up, are there that you can select to populate into the text of your email. If you've made any changes, click update, and make sure that that experience is toggled on if that's what you want. Okay, so that's the very essential experience, and that will be in there by default, the student welcome email, which you're free to customize as you wish. Okay, lots of goodies there. I think I'm going to move on to questions now. Okay. Oh, one other thing, they have moved the sound effects into the course settings. I'll just go back and show you that again. I'm going to collapse all of these things so you can see. This is your administration panel, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sound effects used to live in step 5, but now they've been moved to course settings. And you can see here there's an incorrect answer sound effect, which you can choose from. Choose various ones from there or upload your own. We've got the default XP sound effect. This is what will by default sound every time someone checks something off, unless you set a specific number of XPs that you want a particular sound to play at. So for example, create new. If I want for 2 XPs, I want a particular sound of, I really like the woohoo, and you can preview it by pressing play. You can select a different one. And so every time there's an action that's worth 2 XPs, that sound will play instead of the default one. And you might remember that there's bonus XPs that you can set for completing a particular module. Sometimes people use 10 XPs for that. You could have a different sound effect. Okay, so all of your list of sound effects will show there in course settings under sound effects. Okay, I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to check in. If you would like to ask me a question, to unmute and ask me a question, please raise your digital hand by clicking on the reactions. It's a little smiley face down the bottom. Click reactions and raise your digital hand. Otherwise, I will try and work my way through the chat. Fear not, if I don't get to you, if I run out of time, I will follow up in the Facebook group, the Xperiencify Facebook group. I'm hoping everyone is already in the Facebook group. Let me put that in here. Okay. Oh, sorry, I've sent that to Coach Doris. Sorry, Coach Doris. Here we go. Okay. There we go. Everyone sees that now. That's the Xperiencify Facebook group. If you haven't already joined, please come and hang out with us. You can get your questions answered there as well, but also the support@Xperiencify.com tech support will also help you out. Okay, I have Coach Doris. Would you like to unmute? How can I help?
Yes, I have just one quick question. All of my training will start with Zoom sessions, and I'll record those, and so people who can't make it can watch later. Would you suggest I just put the date and time on the thumbnails that I use? How would you set that up?
Yeah, you can do that. When you add them to your replays, you can certainly have that on the thumbnail. You can just title the name of the replay as the date as well. So yeah, definitely give them that information so that they can see whether they have been to it or not.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Dr. Amore.
Hello. Hi, Danielle.
Hello.
I have a couple of questions. Can my assistant interface with Xperiencify to do all the settings and all the whatever is needed? Because I will be focused on the content. Is that possible?
You're as part of the EPM
My
bonus?
assistant. Yeah, my assistant, I will be so focused on the content that I have someone that takes care of all, is my assistant. Can she set up all the Xperiencify interface with you? Is that possible?
Do you mean as a free bonus for Experience Product Masterclass, or do you mean just as a general, a person just working on a course?
As a general person that is the one that would set all the course.
Yeah, so you can add her to your account as a team member. Okay, so she also has access and you can work on things at the same time if necessary. So add her as a team member, and then she has access to all of the Help Center articles. She can watch the replays of these trainings. She can attend these trainings. She can ask questions in the Facebook group. She has tech support, email support there. In terms of one-on-one coaching to walk through, we do have paid services where you can work with me or one of our team members, and I will get on a Zoom call with you and we will go through things step by step. But in general, there's a lot of free help out there that we've provided for your assistant if she's needing any extra support to work her way through the content building.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I request that through support at
Yep, you can email support@Xperiencify.com, or you can email me directly, and I can send you the payment link for purchasing those hours, the coaching hours, if you like.
Yeah, the coaching, but if it's just the normal as part of my team.
Just normal tech support is Xperiencify, support@Xperiencify.com. Yeah, or you can use the little chat widget in the bottom right-hand corner of your Xperiencify account. There's a little green chat button which will connect you directly with the team.
Oh, thank you so much. And one other question is that in case I want to not use cartoons, but is there any other alternative to, all the animations are made in cartoons on Xperiencify, or are they other things that are not cartoons?
The animations, I believe, are mostly cartoony, but there's some beautiful ones in there. If like as I said, there's over 6,000 pages of animations in there. So I'm sure you will find things that suit your style. For the training images, etc., you can always click on the unsplash button and you can choose from any image that's in there, or you can develop your own image and upload it from your computer.
Unsplash is the official image base of Experience.
It's an integration we have. We don't own Unsplash. It's a separate website that has lots of, it's like a Creative Commons zero attribution free image bank that we have integrated into our platform so that you can search it directly. I mean, you can also go out to the Unsplash website and download things that way and then re-upload them, but it's just an integration we've got there to make it slightly easier for you to use other images.
Thank you so much. The last question, can we expand the size of the font on all the template of Xperiencify? It has very little font.
Yes, you can.
There a feature that we can just make it a little?
Yes, if you go to the Help Center and you click in font size, it will walk you through the exact steps to take to do that.
Thank you so much, Danielle.
You're welcome. Next up is Melee. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Please tell me how to pronounce your name.
Mel.
Mel. Okay, that was easier than I thought.
Yeah. Okay. A couple quick questions. So with signing, adding a team member, what's their sign-in? Do they use the same login as?
No, because if you both use the same login at the same time, it will get very confusing. So when you
add a team member, but we don't know where the login information is.
So they get a magic link. They will get an invitation. If you go to the Help Center, howto.experiencify.com, and you type in team, it will walk you through the steps of adding a team member. You do that in your account, and you will basically put in their email address. It will send them an invitation that they need to accept, and then it will give them a magic link that they must use.
Okay, so they only, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
go ahead.
They only use the magic link.
They use their magic link,
email and password or anything, right?
I believe that's coming, but there's a magic link.
Okay, right, because that's what we were trying to figure out where that was. Okay, great. So with the sounds, is there any way to control the volume of them?
The volume is controlled by your system settings on your computer, so individually.
Right. Well, we just find them to be very much louder than everything else, and we are getting some comments that they're loud. So, you know, if they have to turn it up to hear the video and then turn it down because the sounds are too
okay. I
much.
will
We were
check in
wondering
with the team on that. I have checked in a couple of times and they've told me that it's the system settings on individual people's computers, but I will check in again and I will respond. Are you in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to tag you in the Facebook group with the response from the tech team, but you can always, if there's any issues like technical issues like that, you can always just contact the tech team directly from within your Xperiencify account, the little chat widget at the bottom right corner, or by emailing support@experiencify.com, and they will help you out in that area if you've ever got any issues like that, feedback from your students that things aren't working the way they're supposed to. Okay, but
well, I mean, we didn't know if we were doing something, if it's not working or whatever, but it's just that there's a big sound difference between we're putting on and then that. So, you know, we want them to be, you know, happy and
of course.
So we're trying to run a challenge, and you have the timer, which is great, but it seems we only have it on the homepage. We only see it on the homepage. Is there a way to put the timer, you know, kind of throughout?
Yeah, you can put the timer on any page that you want. I always put it on the single training page as well. So all you would do is drag from the left-hand column where it has all of the different block components. You would select countdown, drag it over into the single training page template in
Right,
step
okay.
4, and it will appear. And then you can have different timers for different purposes throughout your course. So most people would just have one timer, which would be the duration of their course. But you
Right.
can also, if you have like a pre-sign up where people can actually join the course before something happens altogether on a certain date, you can have a countdown to the beginning of a course, and then you can have a countdown to the end of a course as well. So you can change the names of timers so that you can use those in triggers within the Experience Engine as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. One last question.
Mhm.
Sorry to take up so much time. With the emails, you can set up, I guess, we're just learning this, so I'm not sure if it's the right word, triggers or for emails to go out. Can they be, I understand it's like when you finish a training or when you finish a module or something, you can send out an email, but can we have set them to be sent out by dates, like, you know, certain days or anything like that? Okay.
So it's not meant to be, so the triggers that are available is you can set them to go out according to the release of a training. So it can say, so if you have your trainings drip fed on a schedule, the trigger to go out can be a training released. You can't set a specific date for a training and for an email to go. And the reason we have that is because we don't want people to be using the Experience Engine for marketing emails.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a very specific that it has to be based on actions that are happening within the course.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wondered your advice on, in our situation, we want the 5-day challenge, but we are releasing everything because some people might want to do the whole thing in a day, and we're okay with that if they want to do that. So that's why we can't, the emails being set on when you finish a training, you know, it doesn't make sense to have 5 emails coming to you if you're doing it all in one day. But you know, we do want an email to go out each day of the 5 days for people who are doing it on 5-day things. Do you have any?
So absolutely. Yeah. So I've been through trainings, and Murray has set up his 10-day trainings and his 5-day challenges that way. So you have it so that people can binge if they want to. You put it on binge mode, but they're irrespective of that, the trainings are set to release each day. And you have a trigger that sends out the emails based on the training release dates. So ordinary people will get them, or everyone will get them on each day to say that a new training is released. And if they happen to binge it, you can set that they get an email or a congratulations as a text message. I got, which was really good actually. I do recommend setting up the text message. When they've finished something, they'll get a text message at the moment that they do. I mean, it's a training is going to be more than a few minutes, so it actually is okay to have the trigger be training completed, and they will get that if they're binging it. So I don't think it's incongruent. They're aware that they're binging and that they're doing it outside the normal schedule of certain day trainings released on certain days. So I don't think it's unreasonable to have it set up that way.
Okay. The other side of that question is it's a 5-day training. So if some people aren't actually getting it done in 5 days, that's also the situation as well. But okay, we'll just study it more and come back later.
Yeah, we're open to your feedback on how you're running your challenges. But if you've gone through, I might actually put the link in. I see that Murray's here. Hi, Murray. If Murray's okay with it, I might give the link to his Course Profit Accelerator, Mel, so that you can actually see how Murray has set it up with the challenge, because you can go through it one day at a time for 10 days. But if you do happen to want to binge it, there's that option there as well, and that the triggers are set up, and it does work very well in both cases. Okay. The other thing you can set up is the use it or lose it feature, which basically gives them the countdown and the motivation to complete complete the challenge in the time that you've actually allocated. And if they don't, they will actually lose access to it. If they do go through it in the time that you've specified, they're rewarded with being able to keep the content. Okay, so
Okay.
that's another thing to think about as a motivator, procrastination buster. So you can also look up use it or lose it in the help center. And I think that's also been discussed in the Facebook group. So there's lots of great ways to run challenges. Would love to hear in the Facebook group, you know, your feedback on that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, who have I got next? Names have disappeared. Vanessa.
Hi there. How are you guys? Great job
Hi.
today. It was really my first time joining. So
Oh, welcome. Great to have
Thank you.
you.
I have a couple of questions. In as far as respect of the order form, I know that when the person signs up, it goes, you know, right to the course. Is there a way of having it like have a little pop-up saying, a pop-up message saying, you know, oh, we start on say January 20th or something like that, or is it just go right directly to the opening page?
We don't have the capability to do pop-ups at the moment. It will go to it will go straight to the homepage, but you can set up the homepage so that it does welcome them, and it's very clear. You can have custom blocks in there that actually say when the course will start. You can have a countdown timer until then. You can actually show or hide content and blocks depending on the date and when the course is starting. So you don't have to show them all of the content on the homepage immediately if you don't want to. You can certainly set it up.
Yeah, I know that like I have a celebration, that you know, pop-up celebration monkey or something.
Oh,
So maybe I
welcome.
can put it there.
Yeah,
something.
so you can change that. You can change that celebration so that it's better suited to whatever it is. Like, thanks for joining. You can still have it as a welcome, and then when they start the first training, you can have another celebration.
Okay.
Yeah,
because we also have the countdown timer too, but okay. Next question is, you know, sometimes when we're doing, people are in the sign up page and, you know, sometimes they have like the rolling, you know, so-and-so signed up, you know, to create sort of excitement.
with social
Is
proof,
that
yeah.
something that is possible with?
I don't know, Murray, do you want to speak to that? I think people can add different widgets in like that, but we don't have that capability right now.
Mhm.
Is
Could you
Murray
repeat the
still
question
here?
real quick?
So she was asking whether we can, on the order form, whether they can have the pop-ups that say so-and-so just joined, so, you know, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you can. You can embed it. The order form, it's on the page builder. So you can actually add in a block on the page builder underneath the order form for HTML, JavaScript, and throw in the proof widget right there underneath the order form. So that should that should work fine, as long as you're sending the purchase data from our system to the whatever system you're using to do the pop-ups. To get the data to the pop-up system that's sending you the proof announcements through JavaScript to us. Basically, it's like you have to send it to them so they can send it back to us, so we can show that on the order form.
That sounds complicated.
Basically, the data has to come from somewhere, and if you're using our order form, then the data is in your CRM. So you've got to send that data to the proofs, whatever the system is you're using. Use proof is one, but there is a web. They'll give you a webhook. They'll probably even help you get it set up. So you can use a webhook. So as soon as someone gets added to a course, use a webhook to send it to the URL they tell you, and then they can take it from there. And then you can use their snippet to get the pop-up on the order form. That would be great. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you. I do have only one more question left. I think it's going to be really easy.
And I'm going to have to, I can see Megan here as well. I'm going to have to limit it to just you and then Megan, and then we can move on to the Facebook group to answer any further questions. Okay.
This will be really fast. Okay, so we have a lot of courses, but we want to have just one course so that we can just reuse it. We don't have to keep building a course every time we have a session. But the main thing is that we always have replays. We don't want other people to see like the new replays. I'm thinking that's probably a tag issue. Would that be correct? Just like tag it so that the old people can't see the new replays and such.
Yeah, exactly. You've got block visibility feature there that you can control with tags on your students.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but okay. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Megan. Lucky Love.
Hang on a second,
hello.
Sorry, before
Oh.
you go, I noticed that the replay the replay modal allows you to, if I share my screen, if I add a replay here, the replay availability, show this replay content to everyone or only to existing students. Future students won't see.
Ah, great. That's
I
great.
think that must be new. That's good.
That's new.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Go
been there forever,
Debs.
guys. It's been there forever.
Has it?
Yeah, it has.
wow. Well, thanks for pointing it out.
Sorry, go ahead, whoever was speaking.
Okay, it's me again. And I want to, this was very helpful today. Thank you so much for your responsiveness also before this. And what I'm doing is I'm building a long course through EPM. I'm going to have you guys do the done for me when I get all my videos done. So what I'm going to do right now for myself and my learning is put up a hook course. Either it might be free, it might be very inexpensive, but I'm going to do something really simple. So that's my goal. Now, a couple things that you said today triggered questions. I'm clear that we don't use Xperiencify for marketing, but somewhere in there was a link for a demo sales page. So there is some sales page available. What is that for?
Okay, so you can create any sort of custom page that you want in the Xperiencify page builder. The reason that is there is so you have a marketplace hub in Xperiencify where you can list and pick and choose which of your courses that you would like to display to people. And on those, there are two buttons that are available. You can have a more info button or a join button. So the more info you could then link to your long form sales page that you can set up as a custom page. And the join button can go to straight to the order form. You can use that sales page. You can connect it to your website or anywhere you want. But it's going to have, you're going to put the button, the buy button is going to link to your Xperiencify order form.
Okay, so they can buy there.
They can buy.
There, they wouldn't be able to opt into an email list.
No.
Okay, so I still need a landing page for an opt-in, but then I could use that sales page maybe to cross-sell other products once they're in a course.
Yes.
Okay,
if
like, you finish this
Xperiencify.
course, now go on to the next one, and by the way, it's another,
yeah,
$10 million.
Yeah, and we recommend that at the end, when a student's completing your course, right when it's there, you can make that offer to them directly. And you can put that button at the end of the first course that they've done, so that when they're most excited that they've just achieved the transformation, not only can you get feedback from them about their experience of the course, which you can use in marketing then, but you can sell them the very next thing as well.
Okay, that's how I would use it then. Okay, and then with if I choose to not use a custom URL, my corporate URL for this course that I'm starting out with, and so it's just experience.com/my course, whatever. But are there emails associated with that? So if I'm the administrator for that course, can I set it up as Megan at mycourse.com?
You would have to have, if you want
have to have
an email service provider, yes, which you can
still have to have my own email. Okay.
Yeah,
so that
you can link very easily so that you're communicating with your customers directly.
Yeah, and I want to keep it all consistent. Okay, and then there was a place in here where you had a calendar, where there was a function that there was a button where you could connect it to the calendar. So does that mean I don't need to get like Calendly or one of these other functions? What is that for?
I think what you might have seen was me having a custom field to my Calendly
Okay,
account
that might have
for
been
my
it. Yeah.
students. Yeah, so you do need an external calendar provider to book coaching calls, etc. If that's what.
Exactly.
Or maybe you're talking about like an ad event thing where you have, like we have a training events calendar that people can then add to their own Google Calendar or iCal. They're external platforms that you will need to have an account to, but you can then embed that link or hyperlink that link within your course so that your students can access it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Marie. Thanks, Maria. I appreciate that, because TidyCal, I've looked at that. That's one I will use. So I have a second offer that is a coaching course and a private coaching attached to it. So if they buy the course and they're in Xperiencify, I can have my link to my TidyCal calendar through that special edit
yeah, and
function
you can
we're talking
embed it through an iframe as well, so it visually looks like it's there as well, if you like.
Okay, and so then is that just I get to it with a / or is that a special?
I think so, yes. Or if you're putting it into the training notes field, I believe you can add HTML with the /. If not, you can add, Murray's going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong.
Depends where you're adding it. If it's,
yeah, or you
where
can
you're
add a
adding it.
custom block in to the page
Okay.
in step 4.
If you want to add it to one specific training, best to put it into a training action underneath that training. As
Oh, okay.
But if it's
Okay.
going to be just on a homepage or on a custom page inside the course, then just drag a HTML block onto the page in the page builder and then embed it into that.
So it would be, okay, you've completed this module, now it's time for your private coaching call, that kind of thing. So it would be an XP. It would be a
Do it
place
as
where
an
they
action.
an
Do it as an
action, and
underneath
they'd earn
the last-
XP for it, and then
that's right.
I could just take them directly to check the calendar and get the date.
Yeah, so the action underneath the last training in the module is, next step is to book your call with me personally. Go and do it now, and then check it off to get
Yes.
the points.
That's exactly what I want to do. Okay, great. This is a fantastic software. I came from the software industry. I love it. I absolutely love this. So thank you. Brilliant. Yes, absolutely. Brilliant.
Okay,
Thank you. Happy
I'm
birthday.
way over time. Thank you. Thank you for sharing my birthday with me, everyone. I am going to have
Happy
to wrap it up.
birthday!
I apologize to those who have their hands up, but I have put the link to the Facebook group in the chat. Please join us in the Facebook group. You can ask your questions there. You can always use the tech support chat widget in the lower right corner of your Xperiencify account to contact the tech support team. You can watch this replay. It will be put up in, the link will be in Facebook. It will be on the Help Center. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be everywhere, man. Murray, would you like to say any closing words?
No, I only just came over to see if I could get the Facebook live streaming into the group working, and I didn't realize you were still going. So
Yeah.
I just thought I would stay and check out one of these sessions. I believe it or not, I've never been to a session that Danielle's running, and I have to say that, oh my God, what a brilliant job that she's doing.
She did a great job.
I can't even tell you. I'm so impressed with how passionate and knowledgeable she is, and how much value she's dropping onto you all. So thank you so much, Danielle. This is great.
You're welcome.
And I've had a good time in this last 15 minutes just watching you do what you do.
Doing my thing. Okay, so everyone, I will get back to you in the Facebook group, and I will try to tag you. Some of you have got your little tagging permissions, so I can't. But if you go to the Facebook group to this event post, I will respond to any. I'm going to save the chat and get back to any questions that I didn't make it to today. Thanks for staying with us, and we'll see you next week for open office hours. Okay, be there or be square, and have a great rest of your day. Bye, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.